Hello everyone, welcome to the video. So in this video, let's talk about AWS Cognito. So before moving into the concept, let's take what are the topics which we are going to cover in this video. So firstly, what is AWS Cognito? Why we use AWS Cognito? So what are the key features and what are the components like a user pool and identity pools, and what is tokens and authentication flow, and also what are the security features and use cases of AWS Cognito. So firstly, let's see what is AWS Cognito. So the AWS Cognito is a fully managed AWS service provided by the AWS that enables the developer to add authentication, authorization, and user management to their web application or the mobile application. So it's provide authentication and authorization features to the user, so it allow you to the add user registration, sign up, sign in, and access control. So it is useful in variety of context like security for your APIs and providing temporary access to the AWS resources. So Amazon Cognito is a service that enable users sign up, sign in, and access control for your web application or the mobile application. Why why do we need AWS Cognito? So the AWS Cognito is a simplifies development. So it required no need to build custom authentication. So you don't have to create your own login system. So it is ready to use, and the AWS Cognito is a scalable thing, so it handles millions of users at a time, so it works well whether you have a few users or a million users. So and it's also provide a security like a built-in MFA and token based security. So it include built-in tools like multi-factor authentications and secure tokens to protect user data. And also, the AWS Cognito is a flexible service that works with the social logins like Google or Facebook, and enterprises logins like SAML. And also, it's a cost-effective service. So it's like a pay for what you use, so you only pay for what you use and make it budget friendly. Now let's talk about key features of AWS Cognito. So firstly, the features like user pool. So the user pool, user directories from for managing users. So it's a directory to store and manage your application users, and it handles sign up and logins and profiles also. The second key feature is identity pool. So it's a temporary AWS credential for accessing AWS services. So it will provide a temporary access to the AWS services, so user can interact with the things like S3 or DynamoDB, so without needing a separate credential. And the third thing is multi-factor authentication, that is MFA. So it will add an extra layer of security by requiring a second verification step, like a code sent to your application or the phone. And the fourth one is social and enterprises login. So user can log in with the social account like Google or Facebook, or work accounts like using systems like SAML. And also the provide the token based authentications. So users secure token to verify users and manage their sessions, and also replacing passwords during the communication. It provide token based authentication, so users token to verify users and manage their sessions. And it will also provide the customizable user interface. So let you design and personalize login and sign up screen to match your application look and feel. And it will provide a security and compliance. So it will ensure user data is protected and compliance with the industrial standards. Now let's talk about components of AWS Cognito. So the AWS provide two type of components. That is, first one is user pool, and the second one is identity pool. So the in the AWS Cognito is a secure user directory that help you manage and authenticate users for your web application or mobile application. So it will allow user to sign up, sign in, and manage their profile. So it's like a secure database for managing your application's user. So it will handle everything related to the user account, such as user registration and login authentication, user profile, and security features like a multi-factor authentication and password recovery. So it will also provide a features like authentication. Authentication means provides a secure authentication flows, including the support for multi-factor authentication, and also the user profile. It will help to store your users' attributes like names, email, phone numbers. It will provide a features like custom attribute that means it allows defining custom attribute for the users beyond the standard ones. And also it provide the password policies, enforce password complexity requirements, and the feature like account recovery. So it will support email or phone based account recovery method to recover the password or the account. And also it provide the social logins like integrated with the social identity providers like Google, Facebook, and also the hosted UI. So the AWS provides a ready to use customizable sign in sign up page for the user. And also it provide the tokens. So tokens issues JSON web tokens or access token and the refresh tokens. So I will explain what is token in the upcoming slides. No need to worry about that. Now let's see what is identity pool. So an identity pool in AWS Cognito is a feature that allow you to provide users with a temporary access to the AWS services by assigning them unique identities. So these identities can be based on the authenticated users from the user pool or the social logins, or unauthenticated like a guest users. So it will also provide features like federations. So federation means support authentication with the external identity providers. Example like Facebook, Google, or SAML. And also the AWS access control. So it will assign IAM role to authenticate user for the controlling access to the AWS resources. And the user can also sign in anonymous access through the anonymous access, so allow for unauthenticated guest access. Now let's see what is the meaning of tokens in detail. So when a user successfully sign in through the Cognito, so they will receive three types of JSON web tokens. So these tokens are secure and digitally signed, and you are used for various purpose. So now let's see what are the three types of tokens provided by the AWS Cognito. The first thing is ID tokens. So the ID tokens contain the information about the authenticated users like their names, email, and any custom attributes. And also typically used by the application to personalize the user experience. And the second type of token is access token. So it will help to grant access to the protected user resources. Example like API secured by the Amazon API gateway, and it will contain the user roles and permission, and user to verify what user can access and what user can do. So it will decide what are the tasks the user can perform. And the third type of token is refresh token. So used to get a new ID and access tokens without requiring the user to log in again and again. So it will help maintain a seamless experience by automating the refreshing expired tokens. Now let's see what is the meaning of authentication flow. So the authentication flow is the process of verifying who a user is before granting access. The AWS Cognito support various type of authentication methods like a username, password authentication, social sign-in, multi-factor authentication, or SAML or federal authentication. So the username and password authentication means the user sign in with the registered username and the password. And the social sign in like user can authenticate using the social identity providers like Google, Facebook, or Apple. And the multi-factor authentication means it will add an extra layer of security by requiring a second form of verifications like a one-time code sent to the user phone. And the federated authentication means enterprises user can authenticate using the existing corporate directories like Active Directories. Now let's see what are the key security features provided by the AWS Cognito. So firstly, authentication mechanism. So the authentication mechanism means the AWS Cognito help verify who is trying to log in into your application. So it will support multi-factor authentications like sending code to your phone for the extra security. So you can set a role for this strong password and even create a custom login process. And the second thing is data security. So data is protected during the communication between the AWS Cognito users and encrypted connections like HTTPS. So when the user information is stored, it is also encrypted to the keep it safe. And the third thing is identity management. So the AWS Cognito can connect with the platform like Google, Facebook, or business identity systems. So user can log in without creating a new account. So it support sign in on. So user can log in once and access multiple apps securely, and it will assign a specific permission to the user, so control what part of the system they can access. And the fourth thing is fraud prevention and monitoring. So Cognito can spot suspicious login attempts like someone trying to access your account from a new device or location. So if it notify anything unusual, so it may require additional verification. So it prevent brute force attack by temporarily locking accounts after too many failed logins attempts. And the fifth thing is auditing and logging. So the AWS track all the actions related to the user account like logins. So you can see what happening in your application. So these type of logs help monitor suspicious activities and troubleshoot your issues. And the next thing is customization and control. So you can customize the login screens to match your application and making the experience more secure and familiar for the user. And the last thing is user account security. So the AWS Cognito ensure user verify their email or phone number during the sign up. So it will reduce the fake accounts. So it will also offer secure way for the user to recover their account, like sending a reset link to their email address. And also the admin can block user or force logout to handle suspicious activities. Now let's see what are the use cases of the AWS Cognito. The first thing is user authentication and authorization. So the AWS Cognito integrated with the third-party identity providers like Google, Facebook, Amazon, and the enterprises provider supporting. Uh, and also it provide a multi-factor authentication, so it enable additional security by providing users to verify their identity using the second factor such as SMS, TOTP based authentication. And the second thing is identity federation. So as I said earlier, so it enables a user to log in using their existing account with the third party identity providers like social logins or enterprises identity systems. And the third thing is the user management. So it will help to manage the users, their attributes, and registration workflows. So it will organize the user into the group with a different permission. So you can extend the default schema to accommodate the additional user information to the uh, specific to your application. And the fourth thing is security token management. So it will provide a secure API access to use a AWS Cognito issued token to authorize API request, and it will also provide a temporary credential provided for the short-lived credential for accessing AWS resources via identity, AWS identity, and access management system. The fifth thing is serverless and microservices architecture. So serve as the authentication layer for the serverless applications built in with the AWS Lambda API gateway or other AWS services. So it works as a centralized identity store for the microservices architecture. And the sixth thing is compliance and security. So it will helps meet compliance requirement for the requirements and other regulation by securely managing user data and adhering to the best practices. And the seventh thing is scalability. So it automatically scale to support millions of users without significant effort, making it ideal for the applications with the growing or fluctuating user bases. And the eighth thing is integration with the AWS ecosystem. So it simplify the access to the AWS services such as DynamoDB, S3 bucket, or API gateway by providing a temporary credential for the authenticated users. So it is easily integrated with the AWS Amplify for the seamless app development. The ninth thing is progressive web and mobile application. So it will provide a user authentication and authorization for the both web and mobile application. Uh, and the last thing is developer friendly feature. So it will provide a custom flow. So it uses AWS Lambda triggers to create a custom registration, logins, or validation flow. And also it will provide a analytic integration to track user engagement and behavior using the AWS Pinpoint and AWS CloudWatch.